We've had a full week between games.
Yeah.
How much difference has that made to what you've been able to do in training?
Well, it just gives the guys a little bit of headspace, really. You know, that's the most important thing. It's not so much the training; it just lets them clear their head and not be under pressure all the time. You know, we've had I know that I've said quite a few times that we've had away games, and we have. This one here will be like 9 out of 14, and we spoke about this right at the beginning of the season and didn't know how it was going to pan out. I think the players have done unbelievably well. Not just because of the 9 out of 14. You know, we've played first away, second we haven't played yet, third is us, then we've played 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th away from home, and then just for measure 9th at home. So when you look at it like that, you know, it's not just 9 away games, it's who they've been against as well. I think the players have been absolutely first class this season. Absolutely first class. Can't thank them enough for their efforts this year so far.
And as you said on Saturday, it's a squad as well.
Yeah.
How happy are you that, you know, if you like, the number of players that you can trust in a game is increasing?
Yeah, I mean that is important. I think, you know, the trust, you do need to have that trust. They need to have it in you. I would like to think they trust me. They get honesty out of me, which is, you know, people say they want honesty. People don't always want honesty, but they know how I am with them. And times where I am honest, and brutal honesty as well. They know where I am with them. You know, I love them all.
And that honesty, I guess that just helps you get from A to B a lot quicker, doesn't it?
Hopefully. And then from B to C and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I think that, you know, obviously there would have been, 50% of the dressing room from last year that would have known what I was like, probably. I don't think they probably get to know you as much as they know me now. I think that pre-season time together is really, really important. It's not just the players bonding with each other, it's the players bonding with the staff as well, not just myself. So, you know, there's been some new staff that have come in this year as well. So, yeah, I think it's a good place at the moment. There's a good feel around the relationships there.
How difficult is it to pick a team? Because, you know, you said you hate leaving people out, but if there's more people you can trust, then it must be getting more difficult.
You know, people say, oh, you know, it's easy to pick a team. Sometimes it is easy to pick a team, and sometimes it isn't. What you have to bear in mind is it's not just picking it, it's delivering to those who are not playing. That lies the difficult part of it. You know, I wouldn't say, you know, this is 30 years of me doing this. I wouldn't say I like it any more now than I did when I first named a team 30 years ago. So I always feel about that because, you know, their feelings are important to me. And you just have to look after them. I think as long as you can explain to them the whys and wherefores of perhaps why they're being left out. You know, sometimes they don't always accept it in that moment, but if they digest it, they understand it. And sometimes you end up changing the team when you don't need to change the team, because you might think, well, something needs freshening up, or someone's got a knock or whatever like that. So, you know, there's many whys and wherefores why the team stays the same or the team changes.
You've never forgotten what it's like to be a player, have you?
No, I don't think you ever do, though. I don't think you do. So, yeah, you have to take their feelings into consideration when you're leaving them out. That's the most important time, and knowing that they are a huge part of it. I do that even when we work with the team today. I always ask the boys if, you know, the boys that are not in the starting lineup, and the overlap, I needed their help. I need their help to be able to deliver to the 11 that are going to go out there and play. So, and to be fair, they never let me down on that.
How are Sean Long and Teddy Jenks progressing?
Progressing. They won't be ready for this week. There's no point in us, you know, trying to push that one on. Longy will be earlier than Teddy. based on the injury. So yeah, we're a bit early this week for those guys.
Everyone else okay who's been playing of late?
Yes. Yeah, I had to think for a minute then, but yeah.
Eastleigh, obviously, this weekend. You've already said you've had this run of games against teams who've had good starts. What do you make of them?
Well, they've had a good start, haven't they? So, when we talk about, those teams in 1st, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, they're one of those teams in that bracket. So we know it'll be a tough game, and we've got to try and do our best and play as much as we have certainly in the last 2 games. And I say that even though we won one and lost one, I thought in both of those games our football, funny enough, was probably better against Oldham than it was against Hartlepool at the weekend. But a little bit more possession, a little bit more control of the game. So that's what we've got to try and do this weekend, and the weekend after that, and then the weekend after that.
And that art of delivering performances consistently, but also finding ways to deliver the results. Do you sort of say to the players, well, look, you look after the performances, I'll look after the results?
I don't know that. It's quite a good question, actually.
It's a first, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so I think performances are important, but let's not go down the route of the performance, because if we'd be stood here and said we've been fantastic this season but we hadn't won a game, everybody thinks you're crazy then, don't they? So we understand winning. We're not at that point at this moment in time where we're saying points are everything, but we still want to get the points in those games. So sometimes there's many ways, as I've said before here, about winning a game. Sometimes that can be because you've had a solid defence and you've played well. You might have been playing in a medium block or a low block. Other times we've won games where we've gone on a high press. So there's many different ways to win a game. Sometimes you can win a game off a set play. So there's many ways, counter-attacking, many ways you can win football matches. And I think the best way is to prepare the lads where they can understand both. If you're a team that's playing out the back, what are you playing out the back for? Are you playing out the back because it's fashionable, or are you playing out the back because when they press you, there's space in behind them? There's lots of thoughts and theories to all of it. So I like to prepare the lads and talk to them about football. I want them to love their football like I love my football.
Finally, Steve, it's all been National League so far. Cup competitions on the horizon. A home draw in the FA Cup against Weymouth. How important is that to you?
Well, just thank you very much, whoever drew it and drew us out as a home team, because that's the bonus. Whoever we were going to play, it's nice to not have to travel. So yeah, we've been drawn at home. Thankfully, I know that Weymouth won a replay the other night after the first game being, I think it was 2-0 to Winchester in the first game in the 94th minute, and then in the 95th minute Weymouth equalised, and then in the 95th minute Weymouth scored, and then in the 95th minute they equalised. So that was obviously, Winchester perhaps thought they had one step in there. Weymouth got the replay and then won the game the other night. So Weymouth's a big club, I've known Weymouth for many years, and they're a big club down there, and they're well supported. So I'm sure they'll come up here and make it difficult for us. We've got another game that's important on Saturday first and foremost that we need to focus on. But yeah, we look forward to welcoming Weymouth here and congratulating them on their win in the last round.